Welcome to Books for Success. Today, we're unraveling the insights from Eat, Move, Sleep by Tom Rath. We may have been born with poor genetics, but that doesn't explain our poor dietary choices. By striving to lose weight as fast as possible, we miss the whole point of dieting: to be fit by becoming healthier. Tom Rath is an author and a consultant on employee engagement, strength, and well-being. Using his life as an example, he proves that a person diagnosed with a genetic disorder that is likely to trigger cancer cells growing in the entire body can have a well-rounded and happy life. Inner strength, willpower, and the right choices work miracles. Eat, Move, Sleep is a New York Times bestseller that deals with 3 primary activities that significantly impact our health. If you like our content, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. Don't be shy about smashing that like button if you discover something valuable. Let's grow and succeed together. Trendy diets, sedentary lifestyle, and messy sleep are your most oppressive enemies. We tend to take our health for granted and start valuing it a little too late, mostly when there is not much we can do to restore it. One of the reasons behind such a careless attitude is that our life is linear. We can't experience certain things as many of them come with life's unfolding. In other words, if a person in their 40s were to tell a 20-year-old that they are not going to be as healthy and strong forever, a 20-year-old would probably laugh at an older person's face. Another reason is that maintaining good health might seem very difficult and time-consuming. Hence, why waste time looking after ourselves if we can have endless fun? However, reading this summary, you will realize that health is precious, no matter your age. And to preserve it, you don't need to do anything extraordinary. As always, the simple truths save our lives. According to Tom Rath, you need to inspect your formed eating, exercise, and sleep habits, change them a bit if necessary, and get to living a healthy life. Many of us today are confused about modern diet trends. A study reported that 3 out of every 4 people lament that today's dietary guidelines make it difficult to eat healthily. For many decades, we were afraid of the fat. Today, our new enemy is carbs. Are proteins our next foes? A Harvard study that tracked more than 100,000 people for 2 decades. The researchers found that the types of foods you consume play a more significant role in your health than your total caloric intake. Reducing chronic inactivity is vital to good health more than vigorous exercise. In a National Institute of Health study, 240,000 adults were followed for a decade. It reported that exercise alone is insufficient. A weekly 7 hours of moderate to vigorous physical activity was also reported as inadequate to keep people alive. Those who sit for long hours daily have a 50% greater risk of death from any cause. Keep reading to understand how working long hours on a project will decrease your performance and how you can avoid a decrease in productivity. Nutrition facts are more important than calories. Trying to eat healthy may be a little challenging if you want to rely on food labels for nutritional information. The nutritional labels are often inadequate. Therefore, you need to think correctly about your foods to eat healthily. Dieters often start diets assuming they will reach a specific endpoint. Some expect to lose 6 kg if they avoid carbohydrates for 2 months. These diets work in the short run but are insufficient to maintain a healthy lifestyle. To maintain long-term healthy nutrition, you need to determine what kind of effect your food has on your body, negative or positive. That translates to considering all the ingredients it contains. For instance, a healthy salad can be a net loss if you add fried bacon or chicken. Tom Rath once noticed his favorite dish of salmon with barbecue sauce had a net negative effect on his body because of the sugary sauce. Therefore, he learned to enjoy the salmon without the sugary sauce. Please stop worrying about the number of calories you consume. There are more important things to consider. Try to eat foods equal to 1 gram of protein to each gram of carbohydrate. This is not a license to eat sausage and slices of bacon all day. Avoid processed meat as much as possible. It should be the last on your protein list. Did you know? Avoid potato chips. They contain 20 grams of carbohydrate per gram of protein. Sugar is not less addictive and harmful than any other drug. Sugar fuels cancer, heart disease, obesity, and diabetes. It is a toxin. According to statistics, an individual consumes more than 150 pounds of sugar yearly. This white carbohydrate kills more people than heroin, cocaine, or any other controlled substance. Moreover, it has been described as candy for cancer cells. It has been implicated in aging and inflammation of body cells and subsequently triggers tumor growth. If you reduce your sugar intake, you will reduce the odds of developing cancerous cells. Similar to how people once considered a cigarette a pleasant break, seen as a stress reliever and provided a quick high, before being implicated in cancer development and many other body damages, sugar, much like a cigarette, is addictive. Over time, your brain gets used to sugar. This is similar to how people habituate tobacco or alcohol. Thus, as you consume more and more sugar, your body keeps craving to mimic the pleasurable sensation. If you crave sweet foods, it is not your fault. Our ancestors had a preference for sweet taste. It was the only way to discern whether a particular food was poisonous. As a result, we are genetically wired to trust and crave a sweet taste. You can consider using substitutes, although anything that makes your food taste sweet will reduce your craving for healthy foods later. So if you consider using alternatives, it will still work against your health in the long run. Curb sugar cravings and avoid ingredients such as sugar, sucralose, sucrose, stevia, sorbitol, saccharin, maltitol, honey, high fructose corn syrup, fruit juice, concentrate, fructose, dextrose, corn syrup, and aspartame. While some of these substitutes are better than others, you will reduce cravings for sugary foods by avoiding sweeteners completely. It's not our genes that make choices, we do. Tom Rath has a rare medical condition equivalent to losing the genetic lottery. He didn't blame his genes and opted for poor lifestyle choices. This would have made his condition worse. In fact, a strong genetic mutation for heart disease can be altered. Consumption of vegetables and fruits in large quantities negates the effect of mutation and prevents the onset of cardiovascular disease. You may not be able to change your family history, but you can change your family's future by making healthy choices today. You might have noticed that when you wear a pedometer or use an app to count your steps, you tend to go a little extra to increase the count. This is because you can see the result and that walking less is doable. When our overall activity levels increase by 27%, there will be a corresponding decrease in blood pressure levels and body mass index, BMI. Find a way to measure your daily movement and set a goal for your daily activity. The most commonly used method is the raw number of steps you take daily. This can be monitored by a pedometer or any other tracking device displaying your total steps. Based on recent findings, 10,000 steps per day is good for overall daily activity. This roughly equates to about 5 miles, which is not as daunting as it sounds once your daily movement starts adding up. On the other hand, if you record 500 steps or fewer, you are considered passive. Going from a sedentary lifestyle to the recommended 10,000 daily steps brings significant health benefits, from preventing diabetes to weight loss and many more. So start doing small things every day to increase the total. Use the staircase instead of the elevator. Take a stroll around your office during lunch break for 30 minutes. Play an active sport for an hour to add about 7,000 to 11,000 steps or more. If you cannot meet up with 10,000 daily, aim for a weekly total of 70,000 to balance things out. The road to happiness is paved with fruit and vegetables. Nearly everyone seems aware that a diet rich in fruits and vegetables is only beneficial for the body. Consuming natural fruits wards off diseases, helps you live longer, look better, and serves as an additional energy source for metabolic activities. Yet many people fail to eat enough fruits and veggies and prefer to consume large quantities of junk. Unfortunately, it is difficult to know what foods are the healthiest, as there are conflicting ideas from many sources, such that we are in a dilemma each time we go to the grocery store. Greens are fantastic. Zucchini, peppers, cucumbers, celery, bok choy, kale, spinach, broccoli, and other leafy greens are good for health. Additionally, consider red or blue fruits and veggies. They are also excellent nutritional sources. Tomatoes, strawberries, raspberries, peppers, apples, and vegetables or fruits with vibrant skin tones are excellent choices. Thus, when next you are at the grocery store, start shopping in the dark-colored fruits and vegetable sections. Spend plenty of time in this section than any other food section. When hungry, we are more prone to eating junk food. The moment your stomach becomes empty, your blood sugar levels plummet. This leads to a craving for ice cream, brownies, pizza, burgers, and many more. When scientists conducted a functional MRI scan to understand why this happens, they found that at this stage, the body focuses on consuming high-calorie foods to get blood sugar back to normal levels. Your judgment is impaired when you are hungry, so you are more likely to eat that burger. Also, an empty stomach will push you to start your meal with the wrong food, even when you have many choices. A study found that students who fasted from dinner until lunch the following day were twice likelier to start their meal with French or roll fries than a control group that ate normally. It was reported that most of the participants in the control group started by eating a vegetable. It is definitely hard to fight yourself on an empty stomach. Sometimes we may even get hunger pains. Therefore, choosing something quick to eat appears self-evident. But this quick-to-eat food doesn't have to be junk. A good idea is to make yourself a healthy snack beforehand and reach out for its help when you find yourself starving again. This is not only to satisfy your cravings, but serves as a backup when you are in a meeting with limited food choices, where there are no healthy options nearby. When going far away from home, take a small bag of fruits, nuts, or veggies if you get hungry. These healthy snacks can also help satisfy mid-afternoon cravings. Planning for healthy choices in advance helps mitigate the need for last-minute decisions. Eating too fast makes it difficult for your digestive system to send a "you are full" message to your brain. Therefore, you keep eating too much. You will enjoy the excess bites less than the initial flavorful bites. You will eat more and enjoy less food when you race through meals. Racing through meals also doubles your risk of obesity and increases the risk of developing type 2 diabetes by 2.5 times. So, take your time to eat your meal and you will avoid the risk of developing these ill effects. Conclusion: eat proper food, move more, and try to sleep better. The benefit of these combinations is greater than the sum of the parts. It is not enough to eat right. Neither is it enough to exercise alone. Sleeping well in isolation is less effective. When you focus on any of these three pursuits, it will come at others' expense. So, consider these three elements in combination. Of course, if getting them right requires a lot of change from your regular routines, you should start small, but always work in three directions simultaneously. Eating right will provide sufficient energy for workouts, which will, in turn, improve the quality of sleep. A good night's sleep will help you eat right the next day. This is the intersection of the three important eating, moving, and sleeping elements. By carrying out these three in tandem, you will improve your odds for living a healthy, long life. Leave the idea of short-term weight loss and choose to work on your health and fitness from a long-term perspective. Even though we may be genetically predisposed to eating sweet foods, looking to avoid poisonous ones, I suppose, it doesn't mean we have to. On the contrary, we have the choice not to do that. We could also blame the genes for the way our bodies are. True, our DNA is partially responsible for that. However, it does not spare us the responsibility to take control of our lives and choose to eat, move, and sleep in proper moderation. Try this. It may seem to you that you move enough. However, that is rarely so for most of us. For 1 week, jot down all of the activities you did during that week. Include long walks, workouts, swims, runs, etc. Think about how often you do these activities throughout the day. If you walk about 11 miles one day and sit for the rest of the following day, the effect of your 11 miles is pretty vague. But if you include short exercise breaks into your regular workday routine, you will benefit immensely. Thank you for joining us on this enlightening journey. If you've enjoyed our summary, consider reading the full book for a more in-depth exploration. Before you go, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't yet, and share this video with someone who could benefit from these insights. Until next time, keep reading, keep learning, and keep growing.